Hey everyone, I'm the Exalt Tai, and let's talk about a terrible weapon category called the silver weapons. Before we begin, hit that like and subscribe button. Come on, it's free, it's easy, and you wouldn't want a tragedy upon you, right? Anyways, the Tragic Skills series takes a look at awful skills and explains why they're awful and how heroes could potentially upgrade them. With that, let's begin.
This is true beauty!
First, let's define what the silver weapons are. As you expect, they're weapons that have silver in the name, like silver sword or silver bow. But I'm going to include things like Thoron and Atlas as they have the same effect. Well, effect as in none of them have a secondary effect, and that none of them will ever have an effect on the meta, haha. I am going to include the Flame Tongue from Young Tiki, but that's kinda special and I'll get into it later. But basically, these skills have a high might that's close to personal / legendary weapons, but don't have an effect. If you refine the silver weapon, they will gain the same might as legendary weapons. Silver weapons originate from the mainline Fire Emblem series, where they were basically the strongest generic weapon, being only weaker to the legendary weapons. Not in all games, of course, but that was the intent. It was bronze, to iron, to steel, to silver. That carried on to heroes at launch, where there were only a handful of heroes that had a personal weapon, and that weapon would have the highest might to add to their attack. Other heroes who didn't have a personal weapon would need a silver weapon if they wanted the same might to be added. And that was basically their gimmick. It was a trade-off of higher might for a weapon effect. You could have the 12 might hammer plus that could help against armor units, or you could have the 15 might silver axe plus. And if you were like me, who didn't have enough feathers, that was an important decision. So now we fast forward to present time, and silver weapons are still here, but the trade-off is no longer a problem. So let's get into why. Before we do that, I forgot about Tiki and the Flame Tongue. So technically the Flame Tongue Plus is the Dragon Breath version of these silver weapons, but it's only on one character, which is Young Tiki, who happens to be a 5-star exclusive. Most of the other silver weapons are more accessible, so I felt weird adding the Flame Tongue in. Well, I guess if I go by that logic, then Atlas Plus and Thoron Plus shouldn't be here either, because as of this recording, no one has those skills. Weird, isn't it? The only way you can get it is via probably Forma, I guess. I do want to mention the pros of these silver weapons first. They do have high might, which does mean a higher BST for arena point scoring. Fantastic! But counterpoints, you can't win those points if you lose the match. Let's get into those negatives. Here's the thing. A lot of characters are really strong now because we have powerful skills and people have personal weapon refines. You need more than just an attack boost to win certain matchups. Don't even get me started on Fallen Edelgard. What you need are additional effects which silver weapons cannot provide. For instance, the Bouquet Bow versus the Silver Bow. Bouquet Bow is 12 might and has Swift Sparrow 2. The Silver Bow is 13 might and has no additional effect. There's a 1 might difference, and you lose out on the Swift Sparrow effect if you choose the Silver Bow. A terrible choice. Of course, if you choose to refine both weapons, say in the speed department, then Bouquet Bow gives plus 2 HP and plus 2 speed. Silver Bow will get plus 2 HP, plus 2 speed, and plus 1 might, making it a 14 might bow. While that does make it a 2-point difference, the value of Swift Sparrow 2 is far greater than that of the plus 2 attack, so it's still a bad choice. Heroes has basically moved on from silver weapons. Here's a fun fact. There are, in total, 17 characters that have the plus versions of the silver weapons. Only 2 of them do not have a personal weapon, being Olivia and Travent. Everyone else has moved on. For example, Laszlo. He could use the Silver Sword Plus Refine, or he could use his Laszlo's Blade Refine, which is incredibly good. I even made a video about it, which you can check here. The meta has changed to super long text, and silver weapons just don't have the letters to catch up. But there is hope. Just as heroes introduced weapon refinery and gave life to dragons and staff units, we can hope for an upgrade for silver weapons. I know I just said that heroes has moved on, but maybe they moved on from old silver weapons and silver lances to A new element. Let's just check the periodic table. Fun fact about me, I love chemistry, so this is just my own pleasure. We could use platinum or tungsten or maybe a silver platinum alloy actually. Also, a fun aside, you know that lead is not good for you, right? What if the devil weapons, you know, the thing that hurts you when you use them in the game, what if they have lead in them, right? Maybe that's why your health decreases, because of lead poisoning. Anyways, let's just call it the shiny silver weapons. I think they need a big increase. We're talking base 17 might, and they give a higher stat increase for when you refine them. For example, not plus 2 HP and plus 2 speed, maybe plus 4 HP and plus 3 speed for the bow. This way, even though they won't have an additional effect, they're still competitive in the weapon market. I did put them at 17 might just to make it more even with personal weapons, but not too much. That way, 16 might legendary weapons with plus 3 attack attached, say that 3 times fast, is still valuable. And if you're a loyal FEH Pass subscriber, it automatically becomes 99 might, and now you can destroy any fallen Eliwood you encounter. Easy. Everything is solved with money. If you have any thoughts on these silver weapons or a comment, please drop it down below. And maybe you have a better idea for a silver weapon than I did. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter. With all that, stay hydrated folks, and see you later.